Namaste to all devotees, Maharajas and monks of Thanjavur Ramakrishna mission. I am P.I. Sherief Mohammed, founder of Kerala and now President of Ramakrishna Ashram, Pathanamthitta and Secretary Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, in addition to being the chairman to the Musaliar group of educational institutions in Kerala. I am a Muslim by birth, religion, faith and belief, with a passion and devotion for Vedanta philosophy. I believe that Swami Vivekananda belongs to the whole of mankind. I speak this from an understanding of his thought process and essential characteristics of his philosophy, and also my 17 years of association with the mission, commencing with the Ramakrishna Mutt Trichy and continuing even today. Till 2005, I had only some peripheral knowledge of Vedanta and Swami Vivekananda as a student of history. I was then working as an assistant commissioner in the taxes department in Kerala. One fine morning, Swami Prashantananda, president of the Trichy mission, came to my office cabin with a few devotees seeking financial support for the 9-day Navaratri celebrations. He had some reference about me as a liberal individual. Anyway, after an hour, I went out with the team for collection work, but till noon, we could not raise the expected funds. We were sitting under a banyan tree. We wanted actually some 7 to 8 lakhs. Suddenly, a spark came as an inner message to me, which later appeared to me as a divine commandment from Sri Ramakrishna. It was simply an info to send a mail to an NRI in the UAE whom I had never met nor have any contact in any manner. I collected his mail ID and sent a brief mail about our material requirements and the nature of our function and Ramakrishna mission. Within 2 hours, a reply reached me that he will sponsor the entire expenses for food and materials with a special offer of not to publish his name or identity in any manner. He was a Muslim and his attitude was in conjunction with Vivekananda ideal of Seva. That was the beginning of my journey with the mission, which had catapulted me to innumerable audiences in India and abroad, with a stupendous mission being entrusted by Velur Mutt to initiate steps for the establishment of a mission center in UAE where we have no centers. In the missions across the country, I was received and welcomed with an open heart and had the privilege to share stage with some of the learned and tall monks of the Ramakrishna order. I have received many awards and recognitions for my activities connected with the promotion of Sanskrit, national integration and harmony of religions and philosophy and thoughts of Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. But 2 certificates I have kept as a valuable memento. One is Swami Agamananda Puraskar by your Kaladi Ashram, and another a certificate of recognition from Swami Suprananda Maharaj, Secretary of the Ramakrishna Institute of Culture, Calcutta, after my address at the International Gita Conference at Calcutta. My attempt before you is not to take you to any Vedantic heights. Pre-COVID, my last address was at the centenary celebrations of Ramakrishna Mutt Bhubaneswar, and post-COVID, this is my second one, the first being to the students and monks of the Ramakrishna Mission Madhalli, Tumkur. Among the spiritual leaders of modern era, Swami Vivekananda was unique in the sense that he was the first person to work in both the East and West and propagate the message for both areas of the earth. The West, in its quest for the ultimate truth, delved into the objective world with the help of the tools of science and technology and tended to accept only that which could be known through the external senses, scientific instruments and reason, and all such radical changes brought by the Industrial Revolution. Back to our country, we have found that the dharma of Hinduism is distorted with thousands of castes, superiority of birth, of Islam by the annihilation of the believers annihilation of the non-believers or jihad of Christianity by their philosophy of evangelism to convert the globe into a cross. We had Jainism, which argued out the existence of God and Creator. We had Buddha, who rejected the concept of the soul. We had Dindilahi of Akbar and the syncretic Hinduism of Gandhi. We have now Hindutva. But in spite of all these influences and scriptures, we are basically disillusioned. It was in this background, Swamiji's message of religion as the manifestation of the potential divinity of the soul, concept of universal religion, service to man is service to God, and harmony of religions based on the principle of unity in diversity came as a whiff of fresh air at the Parliament of Religions in 1893 to remove many prevalent conceptual barriers between God and man, man and man, man and women, the individual and society, religion and religion, religion and science, sacred and secular, east and west, and most important, between work and worship. Swamiji was the architect of global unity and laid the foundation for the so-called globalization. Even after 125 years, Vedanta has been so strongly woven into the fabric of American life. A Vedanti friend of mine from US was telling me that even American beauty contests have a Vedanta touch as revealed by the US beauty Sri Sai, an Indian from Ludhiana whose motto is beauty with a purpose. It is beauty with a purpose, and her purpose is seva, which is the soul of Vivekananda philosophy. It is correctly said that Columbus discovered the soil of America and Swami Vivekananda discovered the soul of America. During Sri Ramakrishna's final days at Kosipur, Swamiji asked his master that he be blessed with Nirvikalpa Samadhi, the highest spiritual experience. The master sent him off, saying, "Shame on you. I thought you grow like a huge banyan, shielding thousands from the scorching misery of the world. But now I see you seek your own liberation and grow." He did into a mighty banyan tree, spreading into all shelters of mankind. He was not a spiritual seeker actually, but an activist. And the mission he founded in the name of his master is doing service in all possible ways, to all possible people, at all possible places, irrespective of caste, creed, color, nationality, gender. The nutshell of Vivekananda philosophy is humanism, and it is this religion he conveyed to the world. In October, I had been to Belur Mutt, Kamarpukur, Jairambatti, Dakshineshwar in the holy company of Swami Mokshavradhanandaji Maharaj of our Trivandrum mission. On 19th, it was Miladi Sharif, if my memory is correct, the birthday of Prophet Muhammad, whom Swamiji called as the messenger of equality, the prophet of equality, of the brotherhood of man, in his address on 25th March 1900 in California. On that day in Belur Mutt temple, the prasadam, the dates which I sourced and brought from Makkah, was distributed, and all Swamiji's Maharaja's devotees shared it with so much reverence in the true spirit of universal brotherhood. Swamiji gave special emphasis to Hindu-Islam harmony by saying Vedantic brain and Islamic body. Last month I was in our Madhalli Ashram Tungur and I celebrated Ramzan and Ramanavami together in a spirit of holiness and acceptance. The love and care being shown by the monks of the mission extended not only to people like me but to all living beings, flora and fauna. While returning to Bangalore from Tungur by car, Swamiji's Madgalli gave us bananas to eat on the way. After each one, I will throw the skin through the car window, but I noticed Mokshavradhananda Swami was collecting all the skins. I wondered whether he is taking back all the banana skins to Kerala. But whenever he saw a group of grazing sheep, he will shut down the car window and shoot each skin to the mouth of the sheep, grazing sheep. This is practical Vedanta. Swami Vivekananda is the personification of all mothers, the concern of all fathers, the pain of all sufferers, the wisdom of all religions, the objectivity of all sciences, the joy of all arts, the curiosity of all children, the courage of all lands, the urgency of the hungry, the radiance of the sun, the coolness of the moon, the generosity of the earth, the goodness of the water, and any superlative of every virtue. He was the man in God and the God in man. I was on a visit to Japan 5 years back. Japan is one of the countries Swamiji wanted a group of Indians to visit every year to imbibe the hard work and national spirit of the Japanese. I had also to attend a Buddhist conference. I visited the Shinto temple there, and the chief priest was admitting the devotees from different countries to the prayer hall. I revealed to him that I am an Indian Muslim who want to pray in the Shinto way, and also said to him that I am a devotee of Swami Vivekananda. The chief priest immediately responded and said to me, "No problem for you. Our Shinto God is an international God like Swami Vivekananda," and informed me that being an international God, he will accept all currencies of the world as offering, except Indian rupee, which cannot be exchanged in Japan. I offered some dollars, thanked the priest, prayed, and went off. Wisdom has made India her home before it spread to any other part of the world, Swamiji said. He made service synonymous with salvation. Salvation for oneself, service to the world was his doctrine, which the mission is carrying forth. In this context, when we are celebrating the 125th year of Swami Vivekananda's triumphant return to India from the West, every Indian of all religious denomination, communist or capitalist, has to be proud that we have been born in the same country as Swami Vivekananda. I thank Swami Vimurtananda, President or Adhyaksha of our Thanjavur Mutt, and all devotees, sisters and brothers for listening to my simple postprandial talk. Jai Ramakrishna. Thank you all.